I apologize for the sound. I wanted to pull over real quick. I'm out running errands. Somebody is mowing the lawn at this park that I'm at, so I'm hoping that y'all can please bear with me. There seems to be like an uptick in the amount of women who are the cool girl, down for whatever, go with the flow. They don't care what the guy says, what he does. Boys will be boys, men will be men. Whatever you say is fine, whatever you do is fine. They're always understanding, they're always flexible, they're always there. They have no standards, they have no boundaries, and a lot of these women do this because they think that that's how they're going to get a man or keep one. It might get you a man, but it won't get you his respect, and that relationship won't last very long. And if it does, it's a situation where you have basically died inside and you have settled and you are miserable, but for a plethora of reasons you won't end that relationship. So he's going to stay in it and take advantage of you. I mentioned this in a video before. Being high maintenance keeps the losers away. I also once heard someone say that telling a guy no is the quickest way to figure out who he is. Not like simple no's, like no, I don't want a Pepsi instead of a Sprite, but a no as far as setting a boundary or rejecting his advances, something like that. I don't want to be the cool, down for whatever person. I respect myself. I have boundaries to protect my mental, emotional, and physical health. You can't just say anything, you can't just do anything and expect for that to be acceptable and expect that I'm always going to be there and bounce back up like I'm a punching bag to accept and take whatever you're willing to give me. I have many women in my life who have husbands that love them as they should, and they have successful relationships. And the one thing that the happy people have in common is the women are high maintenance. They have high expectations for themselves, how they want their man to act, how they want to be treated. Now, the people in my life that I have known that have had the most unhealthy relationships are the women who are just like, whatever is fine. You might very well be single for longer than all your other friends, but you have to be okay with that. You have to get to a point where you're like, I'm not going to be treated any kind of way just so I can say that I'm in a relationship with a man. And a lot of these men, especially, I know this from experience, they'll come to my comment section and put me down and bully and harass me because they know that they cannot meet any of those expectations. So they feel, let me try to tear you down and show you that you're not worth all of that. But they don't realize that by doing that, you're just showing that you are just not a good quality man. Because good quality men, if they're not already at the top, they will rise to the occasion. I believe I'm worth it, and I don't want to be involved with anyone who doesn't agree with that. I know that if in a relationship, I'm going to treat my man really well. And I want the same in return. I feel like it's a simple concept. But for a lot of women, out of desperation and low self-esteem, we would just rather, take what we can get. Whatever is fine. But that leaves you emotionally, mentally, physically exhausted. And if you have children, that's not a good example to set for your children. That's not something that you want your children to see. And we got to stop making excuses for these men when they mistreat you, when they have a bad attitude, when they cross your boundaries. No, it's not because he's stressed. It's not because, no, it's because he's taking advantage of you. He's seeing how far he can push your boundaries. When I've said no, when I've said I don't like this particular thing and you do it anyway, you heard me, you just don't respect me. So you gotta go. That's one thing that I wish more people would realize. We as women make so many excuses and exceptions for these men, and then we wonder why we're getting dragged and dogged and we're frustrated and we're disrespected and we're calling our friends every week to vent about some shit that he's done. This is not a baseball game. You don't get strikes. I know you heard me. The first time, you're out. This is why I'm so passionate about the content that I make. I want women to raise their standards. You deserve it. You deserve a man who treats you like a queen, like the prize that you are. Stop settling for these men who just want a place to stay, who just want you to be their own personal real life blow up doll, who just want you to give them your wallet so that they can do whatever they want to, just so you can change your relationship status, just so you can post some pictures on social media in matching pajamas, and then you gotta beg them for 5 years to even do that shit. Stop accepting breadcrumbs, okay? You deserve the whole fucking loaf.